everybody, Adultery for Life here, bringing guys a brand new video. So Vjump has leaked, and we got a lot of new awesome cards announced and everything, including the cover card for Raging Tempest, which is just awesome. And yeah, I have looked at these. My curiosity got to me. So yeah, let's go ahead and look at these. So first and foremost is the cover card for Raging Tempest. Supreme King Violent Dragon, Odd Eyes Raging Dragon, or as he's likely to be called in TCG, just Odd Eyes Raging Dragon. You know, let's just cut out half the name because that's totally cool. Anyway, so I really like the artwork of this thing. It kind of looks like a cross between Odd Eyes and Star Venom, which is very interesting since he is a rank 7 XYZ Pendulum, and like you can't use a level 8 to go into a rank 7. You just can't do that. But however, this thing is really cool and I like it a lot. So he is a rank 7 Dark Dragon XYZ Pendulum effect monster. He has a scale of 1, attack of 3000, defense of 2500. Pendulum effect, once per turn, if there isn't a card in your other Pendulum zone, just place a Pendulum monster directly from your deck into your Pendulum zone. Same exact Pendulum effect as Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon. So very just good straight off the bat, and also he has the same stats and everything. So really, honestly, I think you're going to be playing both him and Odd Eyes Rebellion in the deck, even though nobody really goes in Odd Eyes Rebellion, which kind of sucks because I remember when Rebellion was announced, like everybody freaked out. Now then, this guy arguably has a better effect than Odd Eyes Rebellion. Granted, they're both very much OTK monsters and can allow for all sorts of just shenanigans. So, if you can Pendulum summon level 7 monsters, you can Pendulum summon this face-up card in your extra deck. It's, typical. You kind of sort of expected that. This card gains the following effects if an Xyz monster was used to Xyz material to summon this card. This card can attack twice during each battle phase, so you can do 2,000 damage. Once per turn, you can say 2,000, 6,000 damage, just right off the bat, which is really nice. Once per turn, you can detach one Xyz material from this card, destroy all cards your opponent currently controls, and until the end of this turn, this card gains 200 attack for each card destroyed. So, even potentially, he can really OTK by himself, because if you pop like 4 cards, that's gonna be, let's see here, that's gonna be like 200 times 4. That's gonna be like 800 attack points, so he'd be 38. Granted though, like, let's face it, like if you're doing against something like BA, they're probably gonna have like 2 Dante, a Beatrice, a couple back row. So you're more likely to have like 5 to like 6 cards out on field on average. And a lot of decks play field spells now, so really honestly, he can get a decent amount of attack power and push out for a lot of damage. Granted though, he's not as easy to OTK with as Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon is, but he's still really good. And then, of course, if this card in your monster zone is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can place it in your Pendulum zone, which is really nice. I kind of wish you would destroy your Pendulum zones and then put them in there, kind of like what Odd Eyes Rebellion does, because it really does bug me that Odd Eyes Rebellion is the only one who destroys the Pendulum zones and puts himself in there. But then again, Rebellion also has the worst scale, so I don't know. Anyways, really good card. I can't wait to play it. Next up is Ancient Gear Fiend, or as it was called in OCG, Ancient Gear Devil. This guy is kind of meh. He's a level 8 Earth Machine type fusion effect monster. 1,000 attack, 1,800 defense. A very crappy stats for a level 8 fusion. He just needs 2 Ancient Gear monsters to go into, which is really nice. He is unaffected by other card effects, which is also really nice. And during your main phase, you can inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. And if this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can spell summon an Ancient Gear monster from your deck, ignoring the summoning conditions. So I really like this card, but at the same time, I'm not that big of a fan of it, okay? It has crappy stats, the burn effect is nice, but however, it's unaffected by everything. And if he dies in battle, which he's got, that's the only way to kill him is by battle, you get a free Ancient Gear monster with no, with ignoring its summoning conditions, so you can bring out Ancient Gear Golem, which is really nice. That being said though, I can't help but wonder and see if we're going to get the equip cards that Roger used along with this card in the anime. If I remember right, one was like increase its defense by 1,000 and make it indestructible by battle, which would be interesting because then, oh hey, you have a 2800 defender and it can't be destroyed in battle, and it's unaffected by, well, oh wait, no, the equip cards wouldn't work for this card because it'd be unaffected. Okay, so I guess we're not going to get to equip cards. Either way though, this card is very interesting. Let's face it, in reality, you're only going to get at 1,000 damage off once. But if you can somehow protect this card for 8 turns, you can potentially kill your opponent in 8 turns with its effect by burning your opponent for 1,000. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if we get any, Ancient Gear burn decks, especially since the newer Ancient Gear stuff revolves around burn. On that note, this guy can be summoned by other ways, so you can bring him back with, well, the next card, Ancient Gear Reborn. Continuous trap card. You can only control one Ancient Gear Reborn. Once per turn, if you control no monsters, you can target one Ancient Gear monster in graveyard, special summon it, it gains 200 attack. That 200 attack actually does kind of help because some of the older Ancient Gears have crappy stats. Not to mention, you can just bring out any Ancient Gear, so you can bring out, like, I don't know, Reactor Dragon, and a Reactor Dragon will have 3,200 attack points, which is really, really, really good. I really do like this card. It's a once per turn monster reborn, and you just gotta have no monsters out, which, you know, it isn't too hard. Now that does make me wonder if we're going to get the other trap cards. I think we will. Like, I think it's pretty obvious. And now for something I am actually really, really excited for. So, I'm a huge fan of spirits. I absolutely love the idea and everything. Heck, I talked about them for, what, like almost an hour whenever I did my Blast from the Past video on spirits. And we are finally getting a spirit archetype. And it's ritual based. I don't know how to react, but it's awesome, and I can't wait to play it. So, the first monster we have here is E-Spirit Lord Hikoku-jaku. Kind of a hard name to say, but I don't know what they're going to translate it to, and whenever he does come out. He's a level 8 Winged Beast Wind monster, Ritual Spirit effect monster. Yeah, he's a ritual and a spirit, which is very, very cool. And also he's level 8, so he's a trade-in target, which is nice. I think there's a few other level 8 spirits. I know, Kagutsuchi is a level 8 as well, so you could play trade-in in spirits, technically speaking. Don't know if I would recommend that, but he's 3k attack, which is very, very nice. 2,500 defense. You can ritual summon this card with E-Spirit Calling. Must be ritual summoned and cannot be special summoned by other ways. If this card is ritual summoned, you can return up to 3 monsters the opponent controls to the owner's hand. Then you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower spirit monster from your hand, ignoring its summoning conditions. So, one thing I want to make note of is it does specify 3 monsters, but it does not target. So you can get rid of, like, Magispectors, you can get rid of freaking Cosmos ships, you can get rid of anything. So long as it's not it's not like Ancient Gear Devil over here and says, oh hey, you can't target, well, you can't just flat out unaffected by anything. And also, I really like it how you get to just summon a level 4 lower spirit for free, ignoring its summoning conditions. I really, really like that. During the end phase of the turn that this card was ritual summoned, return this card to the owner's hand, and if you do, special summon 2 E-Spirit Bird tokens. Winged Beast, Wind, level 4, 1,500. So, yeah, you kind of sort of... He's a spirit. He goes back to the hand at end phase. Very, that's obligatory for spirits. And he does pay for himself as you get 2 tokens, level 4 with 1,500 attack, 1,500 defense. Which then he could theoretically use those as tribute fodder for another ritual summon. Which is also very nice. So he kind of pays for himself. Now, with that being said, though, the ritual spell has no way of recurring, and so far from what we've seen from the archetype, there's no way of recurring them as through other ways so far. Now, one thing I'm wondering is if this is the archetype based off of the Zodiac, because we are getting a Zodiac-based archetype in Raging Tempest. I don't know if this is that deck, but it'll be interesting if it is. Now, with that being said, I really do like this card, and people are like, oh my god, it's terrible, it goes back to hand at end phase, and you lose all that, and you paid all that investment for nothing. Guys, spirits have like 2 or 3 different ways to keep spirits on field. You have Izanagi, and you have Spiritual Energy Setting Machine, both of which are at 3 and are very easy to get. They're like, Izanagi's a super from like a million sets ago, and if this deck turns out to be really good, Izanagi might actually spike up in price. And then Spiritual Energy Settling Machine is a common from forever ago. So really, in all honesty, The returning to hand thing isn't that big of a deal. The biggest problem, though, is that Izanagi is not searchable, as he's not a spirit, so you can't search him off of Aratama, which is a bit annoying. Next up is E-Spirit Calling, the ritual spell. This card is used to ritual summon E-Spirit Lord Hikokujaku or E-Spirit Lord Hime Kujaku. So that makes me wonder if this is going to be like based off of like the story of Izanagi and Izanami, because like from what I can guess, Hikokujaku is going to be a boy. He is a boy as far as I can tell. And Hime Kujaku, because Hime is typically a girl name in Japan, I'm guessing that Hime Kujaku is going to be a girl. So it might have something to do with the Izanagi Izanami story from Japan. Don't know if that's going to be the case. And heck, there's always also the possibility that this is indeed the Zodiac deck, which I kind of hope it is, kind of hope it's not, I don't know. Also, here's an like actual spirit monster, that like is part of the archetype, and they're keeping with the standard background for spirits, which I really, really like. Anyway, so E-Spirit Calling. This card is used to ritual summon either Hikokujaku or Hime Kujaku. Tribute monsters from your hand or field, and or banish spirit monsters from your graveyard, whose total levels equal to level of the monster that will be ritual summoned or more. So you can, like, let's say Hikokujaku, if you want to ritual summon him, you can just banish a dead Aratama, dead Mikitama from your graveyard, and then ritual summon him out. So it's kind of like a miracle fusion for ritual monsters, if you think about it, which is very, very cool. And also, this finally gives a use for spirit monsters in the graveyard, because for the longest time, spirit monsters in the graveyard, once they hit the graveyard, they stay in the graveyard. You can't get them back unless like you use Monster Reincarnation or Izanami's effect. So it's very, very nice having an actual use for them, because normally you can't do anything with them once they hit the grave. Next up is E-Spirit Bird, Kanagi Tsusuri. It's funny how I can pronounce Hime and Hikokujaku perfectly, but this like screws me over. Anyway, so he's a level 4 winged beast spirit type effect monster, 1500 attack, 1500 defense, cannot be special summoned. That's, standard spirit stuff. Once per turn, if a spirit monster other than this card is normal or special summon and this card is in the monster zone, you can activate this effect, draw one card, and then he has a standard spirit thing to return hand. Very, very, very nice effect. You can basically ritual summon out, for instance, Hikokujaku, use his effect, special summon Kanagi Suri, and then you can normal summon Aratama, search, and then get to draw a card off of Suri. That is really, 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 really good. I like this. I can't wait to play this and mix it with other spirits. I'm just like patiently waiting for them to pop up on YgoPro. And next up is E-Spirit Healing, a trap card for the deck. So yeah, this is going to be a fully fledged archetype, and it's awesome. So, continuous trap card. You can only activate one effect of E-Spirit Healing once per turn. If a face-up spirit monster you control is returned to your hand while this card is in your spell and trap card zone, you can target one card the opponent controls and destroy it. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can banish one spirit monster in your graveyard, negate the attack, then end the battle phase. Both of these effects are amazing. Generally speaking, though, this first one's only going to activate during your turn, and second effect is obviously only going to activate during your opponent's turn. So basically what this does is it helps two of the big problems with spirits, and that is keeping up with the opponent and their speed and everything, and the other is making it to where they can't attack you. I mean, before this, the easiest way of doing that was playing Scrap Iron Scarecrow with the Dark Door, because then you could just activate Scrap Iron Scarecrow, negate the attack, and then your opponent can't attack anymore. So yeah, this is really, really nice. It ends the battle phase. I love it. It's awesome. I really want to play these cards. I love spirits, and spirits are getting more stuff, and it's a full-fledged archetype too, which is just awesome. And then this thing is beautiful. Like, seriously, look at this. It's beautiful. Next up, we got some new Fluffle stuff. I believe actually like 2 or 3 new cards. 2 cards. So we have good old Frightful Kraken, or Deaf Toy Harkin Kraken. I don't know why they keep like just cutting out words in the names. Anyway, so level 8 Fiend type fusion effect monster, 2200 attack, 3k defense. Fusion materials, 1 Edgit monster plus 1 Fluffle monster. I believe that is the most generic summoning conditions for any Frightful fusion so far. I love it. It's awesome. Decent stats too. I kind of wish his attack and defense were swapped, but considering his effect, or at least his third effect, it makes sense why he has that. So, once per turn, you can target one monster your opponent controls, send that monster to the graveyard. During the turn you activate this effect, this card cannot attack. Yes, it targets, but it does send, it doesn't destroy, so your opponent won't get any destruction effects triggered, which is very, very, very nice. Secondly, this card can attack twice per each battle phase, so you could actually potentially do 4,400 damage total to your opponent if they have nothing and you don't have to use the first effect. Again, very, very nice. And then, when a battle phase ends in which this card attacked, you can change this card to defense position. I love it. It's awesome. I'm loving, like, every single card that's been revealed. And this is actually a pretty small, like, Vjump reveal, too, which kind of sucks. I was hoping for more, but there's not much. Like, seriously. Now then, next up is Fluffle Octo. Level 1, Water Fairy type effect monster. 800 attack, 800 defense. You can only use the first and second effect of Fluffle Octo once per turn each. When this card is normal or special summon, you can target one Fluffle or Edgent monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. That is just so good. Okay, add back Fluffle Dog, normal summon Fluffle Dog next turn, search. That or special summon Fluffle Dog off of like the effect of Toy Vendor, search. It's just so good. And then you can grab back Edgents and everything. This is something the deck desperately needed to get back stuff. If this card is sent to the graveyard due to being used as a fusion material for the fusion summon of a Frightful Fusion monster, you can target up to 2 of your banished banished monsters, return them to the graveyard. That is really, really good, but however the deck doesn't really banish too much except whenever it uses Frightful Fusion. So really honestly, this is going to be really, really good at like mid to late game after you banish for Fusion and stuff. You know, just being able to search and also be able to do the other effect to put stuff back in the graveyard. I believe you can use both effects once per turn, but you can only use each effect once per turn each. And yeah, I think that's what that says there. So very, very nice. And this is for Fusion Enforcers. I think this is the first stuff we've been like announced for Fusion Enforcers, which is pretty cool. Some reprints, Frightful Fusion, Edgent Sabers, Fluffle Owl. You know, it's going to be the standard like side stuff like from crap, what was it called? Wing Raiders and High Speed Riders. It just basically is giving more support to older themes, while we're also going to get at least 1 or 2 other new themes, which is pretty cool. And then we have something else that's pretty cool. The first promo for, I believe this guy is going to be the promo for, yeah, I think he's going to be for the second Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc V manga volume, which I am going to plan on pre-ordering the first volume thing, because I have been hearing a lot of good things about the Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc V manga, and I really do want to follow it and everything and start reading it. But however, the first volume doesn't come out till like next March, which is stupid. Anyways, so Clearwing Fast Dragon. He is a Synchro Pendulum. That means we will have 2 Xyz Pendulums and 2 Synchro Pendulums. Now we just gotta wait for Fusion and Ritual Pendulums. Yeah, that would be interesting. Anyway, so Clearwing Fast Dragon, level 7 Wind Dragon Synchro Pendulum Effect Monster. Pendulum scale of 4. Kind of crappy scale. I hate it when like pendulum scales are 4 because it's just not very great. And also, that really does not help out like freaking Speedroids either very much, as a lot of their monsters are level 4. Anyway, so you can send, so it's Pendulum Effect. You can send 1 Speedroid Tuner monster plus 1 non-tuner monster you control whose levels equal 7 to the graveyard. Special summon this card from the Pendulum Zone. You can only use this Pendulum Effect of him once per turn. So you basically can Synchro summon him from the Pendulum Zone, which is pretty cool and pretty interesting. I like it. I do kind of wish he had another effect in there so that you could actually have like a reason to keep him in your Pendulum Zone. But however, I still like it quite a bit. It's a pretty cool effect, just being able to bring him back and reuse him. Its monster effect is, during your first turn, you can target 1 face-up monster the opponent controls that was special summoned from the extra deck. Its effects are negated, also its attack becomes 0. These changes last until the end of the turn. You can only use this effect of Clearwing Fast Dragon once per turn. And then his second effect is, if he's destroyed by battle or card effect while in the monster zone, you can place him in your Pendulum Zone. This card is awesome. I like it a lot. I don't know how many I would play in like Speedroids, but I would definitely play at least one of them in Magician Odd Eyes, which, good God, that extra deck for Magician Odd Eyes is going to get like so tight because I feel obligated to play all the dragons in it. I just do. I don't know. But this guy is really, really, really good. Just being able to negate a monster's effects and drop its attack to 0. So, okay, your opponent's special summon, your opponent goes into like 101. They try to absorb this guy. You say no, its effects are negated and its attack drops to 0. Your opponent summons out Ignister. No, you can't use Ignister's effect. Or it's just so good. There are so many extract monsters that like are just so heavily reliant on their effects and everything, but like they can't be destroyed or something. So Clear Wing and Crystal Wing, they can't really do much about, you know, not being able to destroy a non-destruction monster. So being able to just drop its attack to 0 and negate its effects is just so incredibly good. It does target, which can of course obviously hurt for certain extract monsters, but really honestly, whenever it comes to like extract monsters that like everybody's playing, I can't think of very many monsters that flat out say you can't target this card or anything. So I really like this card. It's awesome. I like it. And then we are getting a level 5 Speedroid monster. So that's going to be interesting. And he's a Pendulum monster. I just noticed that. Holy crap. So Speedroids are getting Pendulums. Now we just got to wait for Raid Raptors to get Pendulums one day. Actually, I doubt that's going to happen considering how Shun flat out rejected any Pendulums that Reggie tried to give him. Anyways, guys, so that is it for Vjump. We also got the OCG ban list. The only real noteworthy thing about that is that Level Eater got banned for some silly reason. But, however, I'm not going to talk about the OCG ban list because, well, it's OCG, and I don't plan on moving to Japan anytime soon, if ever. So, guys, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great day. So many of these new cards are awesome. What do you guys think about it? If it's your birthday, happy birthday. See you all later. Peace out. Goodbye.